Minister of Finance, Baghdad continues to pay the salaries of Kurdistan. June 16, 2019. Baghdad, Minister of Finance Fuad Hussein, assured the Kurdistan region that Baghdad will continue to send their salaries, while stressing that the ministry is working to stabilize the share of the province of the budget for the next year from now. The level of relations of the region with Baghdad is good, and we must conduct more dialogue and understanding between the two sides in order to address the remaining problems and intractable, such as the oil land budget and Kurdish areas, as the efforts are continuing to treat them, Hussein said in a statement. Hussein confirmed that the budget of Kurdistan this year will remain as it is, and we are working to stabilize that in the budget next year and sent by Baghdad in the same format of the current budget. And we have conducted a number of meetings for this purpose. He continued, we hope to improve relations more and mutual understanding and dialogue to resolve and address the outstanding issues, and will resume talks after the formation of the Kurdistan regional government directly. The Kurdistan government refuses even to abide by the budget law of 2019, which provides for the delivery of Baghdad 250,000 barrels of oil Kurdistan daily for export through the National Marketing Company, SUMR, in exchange for payment of salaries of employees, and allocate more than 17% of the budget value of the region. Key card. 6.8 million people with local cards and MasterCard. June 16, 2019. We, as an electronic payment company in Iraq since 2007, have more than 6 million subscribers, local card, and about 800,000 issued MasterCard cards, said Ali Abdul Hussein Al-Saudi, president of Global Card Company. He added in an interview published in the magazine Union of Arab Banks seen by Economy News, the banking sector in Iraq has made significant progress in this area, especially thanks to the policies of the Central Bank of Iraq on the process of settling salaries and pensions of government employees, and banks can withdraw his salary by bank cards, 1,200,000 cards in Iraq, since 2017. He stressed that the number of employees are now benefiting through the process of settling their salaries, instead of cash, of loans of all kinds, and the rest of the banking services that meet the requirements of contemporary. The Association of Private Banks holds a stress test course for bank staff. June 16, 2019. The Iraqi Private Banks Association on Sunday held a stress test session for a number of employees of private and government banks in order to increase the efficiency of employees and teach them the methods of stress tests and their types and how to apply them in banking. The course was attended by 51 trainees working in private and government banks for 5 days at the headquarters of the association in Baghdad, under the training of Jordanian Professor Osama Al-Fandi, who holds a doctorate in business economics. The aim of the course is to provide participants with the necessary knowledge on the nature and importance of scenario analysis and stress testing in banks and both types, in addition to providing them with principles, fundamentals, requirements and relationship, and how the macro-prudent indicators can affect economic capital. The training program also adds stress testing methods, types and how to apply them in banking, which will give the trainees a good background with the implementation of the endurance test in the bank profile and credit risk, market and operational risks. The main objectives of the training are banking supervision, risk management, credit risk and statistics. The main areas of the training were pressure tests, pressure and risk tests, pressure tests, and the application of the stress test report. Minister of Finance and Chairman of the Development Bank discuss the role of the private banking sector. June 16, 2019. Deputy Prime Minister received for Economic Affairs and Finance Minister of Iraq, Fuad Hussein, at the headquarters of the Presidency of the Council of Ministers in the capital of the Iraqi Baghdad. Engineer Zayed Khalif Abdul, Chairman of the Bank of the International Development and Board Member of the Union of Arab Banks, were presented prospects for economic and financial situation in Iraq, and the role of the sector, the Iraqi private banker, in supporting the march of development in the country. Hussein stressed the attention of the Iraqi authorities concerned with the support of the Iraqi banking sector, the efforts of the private and cooperation with the Union of Arab Banks on more than one level, training and meetings, or the fact that the private banking sector, effective and serious contributor. For his part, Khalif Abdul, the International Development Bank, which is the interface of Iraqi private banking, is in the process of infrastructure, according to the latest enabling technology and cognitive standards, as well as the rehabilitation of the human cadre to match the requirements of the banking business of international. Referring to the look forward to banking activities economic and international level in cooperation with the relevant government agencies in Iraq, led by the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Finance, the Central Bank and the Association of Iraqi Private Banks. Course of laws regulating the work of the banking system. June 16, 2019. The Center for Banking Studies in the Central Bank of Iraq organized the branch of the session, Laws Governing the Work of the Banking System. which will last for the period from 16 to June 20, 2019 at the headquarters of the Ministry of Finance of the Kurdistan region. The Central Bank's Banking Studies Center develops and prepares programs and courses to sharpen staff skills and enhance their expertise in effectively deploying resources, procedures and controls to include training for staff to ensure governance and compliance. A number of employees of government banks and private banks licensed by the Central Bank of Iraq are participating in the course. A training course entitled Basel and Self-Assessment of Capital Adequacy, ICAP, for the period from July 28, 2019 to 8/1, June 16, 2019, to from government and private banks and financial transfer companies, Basel and ICAP. Click here to view. To government and private banks and financial transfer companies, Basel II and ICAP, greetings. This center, in cooperation with the Arab Academy for Banking and Financial Sciences, announces the establishment of a training course entitled Basel and Self-Assessment of Capital Adequacy, ICAP, for the period from 7/28 August 1, 2019. As detailed below, the axes and objectives of the accompanying course. 6. Terms of nomination. The main officials and staff of the banks in general and who may be related to the subject of the above session. Certificate. At the end of the course, the participant will receive a certificate of participation from the Arab Academy for Banking and Financial Sciences. Place of the session, Central Bank of Iraq Center for Banking Studies at Al Rashid Street, 2nd floor, 9 a.m. And name of lecturer, Samir Mohammed Abu Amma, Bachelor of Accounting, Executive Director of the Egyptian Arab Bank in Jordan. 10. Language of the session, Arabic language. Note that the maximum subscription, $400, per participant is authorized to us the power to deduct from your account in dollars open with this bank, and you can send the names of your Jordanian candidates on email. bsc@cbi. With accompanying accomplishments, course hubs. Dr. Raja Aziz Bandare, General Manager, Al Bakal Center, Keet Al Raqqa, Iksanan, Iraq. Tel 171-18190. The beginning of a crisis. Call out my 11 dance 0092618199802. Email Chicklin, Rashid 7L and Rak CBF Honda for Till, NY 65171. Tele4 exchange with line PO Box 0 fax 0004188833E, MFM2EB1H. Objectives: to determine the bank's responsibility in the self-evaluation process and the role of regulators in reviewing the self-assessment report, the main risks that fall within Pillar 2 of Basel, measurement methods and regulatory developments in the field of stress testing, capital buffer, risk ratio, and appropriate level of capital, concentration risk, main themes, control audit of the self-assessment process. 2. Definition of concentration risks and methods of measurement. 3. Definition of the risk of non-trading rates in the portfolio of banking and ways. 4. Definition of liquidity risk and methods of measurement. 5. D. Techniques used in endurance tests and how their results are used in the self-assessment process of capital. 6. Techniques used to allocate capital required to meet specific requirements. 7. Preventive capital requirements to maintain the capital adequacy criterion in accordance with Basel II. 8. Counter-cyclical capital buffer requirements. Capital requirements overlap with Basel I and 2 pillars. 10. Practical and practical cases.